I've been in and out of recovery, and I was clean for 10 years, and you know, had a sort of spectacular relapse. And going into celebrity rehab, I really felt like, you know, it would be very arrogant of me to think I'm done, and that there isn't more to be learned. And I had always admired Drew from afar. We met at the Prism Awards.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I really wanted to get in there and be a part of this. And I also, you know, maybe arrogantly had that feeling that I could be of help to other people.
Yeah, and it's true.
She was actually very helpful. It's always good to have people at different stages of recovery in the treatment process. And
She was a huge help. She was like really about to take over Dr. Drew's job.
well, the point where some of the other patients attacked her, Heidi really attacked poor
She
Mac.
really got mad at me.
Yeah.
It was sort of, it was almost like a teacher's pet situation.
Yes,
or
they
something.
were like, she was very resentful and
Yeah.
stuff. And Mac also has another interesting part of her story, which is the child star story, which is, a lot of people want to blame child stardom on addiction. I don't know if we've never talked about this, but it's usually what's going on at home that's the issue, not the childhood story.
That's right. I mean, when I did the Disney Channel series So Weird, I was working with kids, and they were from these amazing families who were so supportive. And I'm not saying that all child stars who have addiction problems have nasty families, but I think the incidence of it's pretty high.
It seems to be. Mindy, I want to ask you, by 20 years old, you were a famous country singer. You know, everything seemed to be going right along. And then you had periods of heavy drinking, correct? So what was going on in your life behind the scenes that no one was seeing that was causing this onset of drinking?
Really about one bad relationship after another, whether it being a record company relationship or with a man. You know, starting out having a destructive relationship with my parents in my childhood, it kind of just continued on and escalated and got worse and worse. And when there would be some kind of crisis or some kind of painful thing happened to me, you know, it was readily available to go and drink too much. And it's not something that, you know, actually even did anything to ease the pain. It just, you know, made things worse.
Do you still drink, Mindy? Do you still drink?
I occasionally do, socially still have a drink, but...
and we talked about how, you know, childhood trauma sort of it changes the brain's regulatory system. And so, again, reaching outside of one's body to regulate emotions is sort of the setup for addiction. Maybe.
And how do you know the difference between, like, an addiction or something that maybe, as Mindy would say, maybe happened once in a while and something...
Consequence. I mean, I have to tell people all the time, some people think I'm some sort of buzzkill. I'm not a buzzkill. I'm not interested in bumming anybody's high. I'm interested in people who lose control and want help, because that's where, when the consequences, work, school, finance, health, relationships, legal status, that area of your life is affected, and you can't stop. You can't. That's when you need help.
So it's not about how much you use or drink, it's about what happens when you do.
That's right.
It's a very simple way of looking at it.
So would you consider Mindy an alcoholic in denial or a codependent person?
Well, Mindy certainly has codependency. Both these guys have a lot of codependency stuff, that's for sure. And that's a common thing with women. It can really set up using. In fact, many people come into, whether it's sex addiction or alcoholism and drug addiction, through boundary issues where women sort of take on so much. I mean, this is really, I think, the point today we're going to talk about this. Women take on I mean, Kate, I mean, you know this story. I mean, what women take on is extraordinary, and they take it on automatically. And if you have boundary issues where you just start sucking up everything, you can't manage. You literally shatter your ability to regulate and cope.